Mm.
Welcome to Morning Infusion with Dr. V. Have you ever wondered what it would be like to be a young mother with a sick child? Well, my name is Dr. Viola Pierce. I'm the owner and the CEO of VP Nursing and the Nurse Nurturer and the facilitator of Secret Supples Worldwide with Dr. V, where our goal is to equip healthcare professionals to be wealthy in all areas of their lives. Our goal is to come to you each Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 7:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time to give you the fuel to crush your goals, to show up exceptional on a daily basis. Know that one of the goals of Morning Infusion with Dr. V is to expose you to leaders that have overcome so that you know that the possibilities are endless. You can follow us on Twitter at the Nurse Nurturer, Instagram at VP Nursing. And if you're watching on YouTube, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and please share this video. We have a group called the Nurse Nurturer on Facebook that you can join to receive uplifting content for healthcare professionals. You can also visit us at our website at vpnursing.com. Our special guest today is Cineka Evans. Cineka Evans is a licensed practical nurse and nurse entrepreneur. Cineka is the owner of Dangerous Curb Scrub, a web-based scrub store serving sizes extra small to 5XL. I got it wrong on the banner, so I just want to let y'all know. It's Dangerous Curves Scrubs. The goal of the company is to give healthcare professionals the accessories to stand out in the uniform world of healthcare. Her ultimate goal is to produce her own scrub line, catering to the curvy healthcare professional that wants to be fashionable and comfortable in their uniform. So welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm super excited to have you.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
So, go ahead.
Just one thing is
Okay.
Cineka.
Cineka. Okay. All right. So tell us a little bit about yourself and the reason that you wanted to become a nurse.
Okay. As you stated, my name is Cineka. I wanted to become, I'm actually, okay, let's start here. I'm 36. I
Uh-huh.
became a teen mom. I got pregnant when I was 17. I had my oldest child when I was 18. And before that, I wanted to be a doctor, but I couldn't do that and have a baby. At least I didn't think I could at the time. So I decided that I wanted to go into nursing because I always had a passion for helping others and for science. So it just seemed like the natural thing for me to go into. And I've been working towards that goal ever since.
Gotcha, gotcha. I love it. I love it. Now, tell us a little bit about your childhood and how it shaped who you are today.
Well, my mother, she always wanted to be a nurse, and she actually was in nursing school when I was coming up, but she had some injuries to her hands, and she wasn't able to complete nursing school. She ended up getting her degrees in business, and when she did that, she opened up her own companies. So I saw a woman entrepreneur coming up, and I got to help her in her company. So it was implanted in me at a young age to not only go into medicine, but also to be my own boss.
So
I guess
that's something that you've always thought that you would always be
which
your
part?
own
No,
boss.
absolutely, absolutely, because I'm bossy, and not only that, but I like things the way I like them, and I want I want that level of my satisfaction. And as long as I'm working under other people, I have to follow their rules, and that just doesn't work for me all the time. I mean, you got to be honest with ourselves.
It's really funny because the first day that we talked, you were talking to your son, and I was like, "Ooh, you sound like me."
Right.
We're like, "Go over there and finish that work, okay? We're not done. We're not done."
Right. I mean, because you have to. My son, the oldest one that you were talking about, he's 8. And I already see in him that he is not going to want to work. He has to be the boss. He'll tell me flat out. I was like, babe, you want to come and see what mommy's doing? He's like, no, I just want to ask you if it's okay and if you've met your goals or not. What? He's like, yeah, no, I don't really want to do the work. I just want to support you in doing it.
I love it. I love it. That residual. He's just trying to get that residual income. That's what he's trying to
Well,
do.
we can put them on payroll.
That's right. That's right. Up to $12,400, I think it is.
That's right.
Right.
Yes,
That's
ma'am.
right.
Every year.
That's right. Every year, and then I love it. So now, tell us about when you first became pregnant and what that experience was like. And what was his name? What was your son's name?
So I became pregnant I learned that I was pregnant with Dante I was about to get ready to move into my college dorms, and I found out I was pregnant, and I had to break the news to my grandmother and my grandfather who were in Indiana about to move me in, and my mom was like, "You're coming home." And I said, "But I start school." And she was like, "Mm-mm, you're coming home." So, in an effort not to hinder myself and to continue my education, I decided to enroll in a community college because it was too late for me to enroll in any of the other schools that I had been accepted into, but you can get into the community colleges. And so I did that. And I ended up taking my prerequisites for nursing, well, the majority of them while I was pregnant. And I had a pretty tough pregnancy. I had to go back and forth to the doctor getting stress tests every week at first for about the first 2 or 3 months. And that's really unheard of when you think of a 17-year-old healthy female that's pregnant. But they were telling me that Dante's kidneys were dilated. Then they were telling me that I didn't have enough amniotic fluids around him. So long story short, I was either in class or at the doctor.
Gotcha. Gotcha.
Um, he ended up being born 5 days after his due date. So his birthday is April 24th. And he was perfectly healthy.
Okay.
Everything that they told me was wrong when he came out, perfect bill of health. So I was very grateful for that. Then the real work started. I mean, the first thing I asked my grandma when he was born was, "Well, what am I supposed to do now?" Like, they gave me
What
this
do I do
baby.
with this
Like,
thing?
what? It's not a doll. Like, what do I do with this?
Girl, I feel you. I understand
Like,
that experience for sure. That first time, I was like, yeah, I don't know what to do with this child. I have no idea. I was calling my mama up every day, several times a day.
look, I am so grateful for my grandmother. I had my own house, but I went to Granny's house, and Granny will be like, "You gonna do this and that? Well, you gonna wake him up so you can feed him, but he sleep. If he was hungry, when he wake up, like he okay. But I am so grateful that I had her support, and I mean, and then my mom came around, and I remember calling her one day. It was especially hard day, and I was like, "Mama, I'm sorry, I don't want to be an adult no more. This baby crying, I gotta pay bills, I can't do it. How, Mama?" And she just laughed.
And supported you through it all. I know.
And
I
threw it
understand
on.
that. Now, tell us about the first time that you knew something was wrong with your son, like you knew he
Well,
was sick. He was sick.
Dante was very articulate. It was about 2 weeks after his second birthday, he started complaining of having a stomach ache. So that's the middle of May. And I'm like, "Well, maybe you just aren't feeling well. Go lay down. Maybe you had a stomach bug or something to that effect." This went on for about a day and a half, 2 days. And he came up, and he just was lethargic, and he was a very active child, very sweet, but very active. And he didn't want to do anything. He didn't want to eat. And I looked at him, and his lips were blue. And I was like, "We're going to the hospital now." And so we got him in the car, and we get to the hospital, and they start running tests on him. And I'm thinking GI issues. So maybe a scope at the absolute worst, some CTs, ultrasounds, that type of deal. Well, they start running EKGs, chest X-rays, um, doing all different type of levels, and I'm like, "Wait a minute, what's going on?" And the doctors kind of just pushed me on, kind of just, oh, it's okay. I'll say, okay, we'll talk to you in a minute. And it was very just like they were just disregarding my concern. So at that point, mind you, he's 2, my birthday's in late November, his is in May. So I was maybe 19, 20 at this time. And so they see this little Black girl from Detroit with this baby, and they just think, well, she doesn't know anything, or she isn't as involved. Well, they had the wrong one on that day. No. You're going to have to stop, and you're going to have to talk to me now, because what you're doing is not for what I brought him in. You're looking at his heart. Why are you looking at his heart?
Right.
And so once they realized that I actually knew what was going on, then they started to treat me different. But had I not, they would have just continued to brush me off. You know what I mean?
I know what you mean.
And it turns out that Dante ended up having idiopathic dilated cardiomyopathy, which is to say that he had an enlarged heart, and they have no idea why his heart was enlarged. He had no string of infections that you would think maybe it was an infection. There was no congenital issues, nothing. They just one day, his heart was enlarged.
So now, what was the experience that you had with healthcare staff? Now, how did that change the way that you care for your patients?
I definitely listen to my residents, my patients, and their family. They by far know themselves and their loved ones better than I do.
Right.
I can obviously look at them from a clinical standpoint and say, well, this is what I see. However, when you're dealing with an older population, or even those who have had an acute illness, they don't present the same way. And no one is going to follow the textbook. So listening to them and having your patient involved in their own care will allow you to give the best possible care that is patient focused and patient centered. That's what I was able to get out of my experience, and that's what I hope translates in my care.
I think that that's the value, not that I think, I know that that's the value of bedside shift report, right? Because what happens is you go into the bedside, and I think that, COVID has changed the game a little bit on that. But when you go to the bedside, you are able to talk to your patient, you're able to talk with the family members, and you're able to, discuss the care, and they can give you valuable information. I remember one of the young ladies that we're actually really good friends now, but when I first told her that we were doing bedside shift report, and I was very adamant that that's what we were going to do, she was very resistant to it. But the reality, if you think about it, you knew more about your son than anybody knew about your son, correct?
Absolutely.
I mean, he was, you knew as much. And so having you involved in that care, is huge, huge, huge.
Absolutely. And another thing that I think that that us as providers don't realize, that even when you're dealing with those patients that are pediatric, or whom you may say have a spot of dementia or something, those people still can speak for themselves. Like I said, my son was 2, and he could articulate to me that, mommy, I'm not feeling well, and it wasn't broken or anything like that. He could tell me what was going on with him, and people were very reluctant to talk to him. So I brought him in to his care as well, because I needed him to understand what was going on. These are big issues that he was about to face. So obviously, I didn't want him to be scared, and I didn't want him to get that white coat syndrome. So I had to explain to him, hey, this is what's going on. This is why. And obviously we do it on levels that he could understand, but you don't want to talk over your patient. And you want to involve them in their care as much as possible, just because you have to remember that they're still people. They still have those feelings, and they have those fears, because not only do they have this disease process that's going on with them, but then they have these people that's just talking about them and around them and not involving them. So they feel insignificant in their own care, and we can't have that.
That's right. That's right. That's right. We cannot. We cannot. And as you know, we're not going to talk a whole bunch about it, but of course, he has since passed away.
Yes.
But we, and my condolences, of course, for that. We want
Thank
to
you.
go into your business. Now you have a uniform. I thought it was an accessory business, but it's a whole scrub business now. Now, what sparked your interest to go into such a unique niche?
Well, what happened was I'm a nurse and my
Mhm.
husband's also a nurse and we have two small children. And my husband's like, okay, we can't send them to daycare. They can't go to school. You're gonna have to be at home. And I'm like, okay, that sounds great. No, no. But having that opportunity to sit down, it actually made me realize, hey, Cineka, you have the time. We always say, well, I would do X, Y, and Z if I had the time. Well, I had the time and I had the resources, and COVID really made me understand that you have to have more than one stream of income.
That's right.
What do I know about? I have been wearing scrubs since I've been working just about.
Mhm.
And I've always been very curvy. So it was either get your scrubs too tight so that they don't look like a sack of potatoes, or, get them too big. So it's great that they have stretch scrubs more readily available now. However, they still aren't really tailored to our bodies because may have big hips, big butts, and that, but we may not have big waists.
Right.
You know
Right.
what I mean? So then you're getting things that still don't fit you right. Or, a heavy set woman, just because she's big busted doesn't necessarily means that she has bigger arms, or she needs more expanded panels on the side so that she does have that mobility, and that stretch and give, because a lot of uniform companies have the panels of stretch on the front and the back, but they don't think about it has to get over wide shoulder. So they need some panels on the side as well. And um, that's really what my uniform line that I'm designing is coming out about. It's about giving us the right stretch and the right movement so that we can be comfortable while we're taking care of others. And that will go such a long way.
That's exactly right. That's exactly right. Going into there, because I have some uniforms that I'm like, I mean, I have to go in and try on the uniforms most of the
Mhm.
time because I'm like, yeah, they're not going to fit over this honey.
Exactly. Yeah.
So now tell us about the items that you sell and what sets you apart from other companies that are like yours. But I think you just told us about that it's for curvy women.
Yes, ma'am. And a lot of the different accessories that we have, they are accessories that you may be able to find other places, but you're not going to find them as affordable as I have them, because I have accessories that I want to make sure that every person in healthcare can afford. There is no need for you paying $30 for a headband, but you see it all the time.
All the time.
all all the time, and I just don't think that that's necessary. We know that healthcare professionals want to be fashionable, but we have to have items that are functional. I have the headbands with the ear savers. I have to wear N95 when I'm at work because we have COVID in the building. Okay. But then I also have to put on like a dust mask over it because we have to still wear our N95s for 5 days before we dispose of them and get another. So here we are. That's two sets of masks that I have on, plus my glasses. My ears are hurting. So if I put on well, I have one here. This is a headband with
Mhm,
the ear savers,
mhm.
and I have the matching mask to go with it. So I put the N95 on my face because it's supposed to be fitted to you, and then I put the dust mask over and put it on my ear savers, and it really does improve comfort. We also have compression socks because we don't realize that a lot of young ladies and even gentlemen get into nursing and allied health at a young age, and we think we're invincible. Well, baby, let me tell you, those legs start to hurt, okay? Your feet get tired, especially if you haven't been on them for 12 hours and you haven't been running around. Compression socks are fantastic to reduce edema, to increase circulation. If you're pregnant, oh my gosh, women are so amazing. I've been very fortunate. I've had 3 boys and I've never had to really work my entire pregnancy. But I see nurses and CNAs, oh my God, that are working dang near up until their delivery day.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not made from that stuff. But for those of y'all that are,
My first one,
from that cloth.
my first one, I worked till 5 o'clock. I went into labor at 6 o'clock. You sure did.
No, ma'am. No, ma'am.
But those compression socks are really good too for people who are exercising, because I use mine more for exercise, and I sit at a desk a little bit more now than what I used to. But exercise, I mean, they are phenomenal
They help you recover a lot quicker, right?
That's exactly right. That's exactly right. Now, how do you define success?
To me, at this stage of my life, success is being able to expose my boys to the world, to have very, 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 very world traveled boys that know how to carry themselves, especially in today's climate. They have to be very well rounded. To me, that's what success is. And I know people always throw in monetary things and of that nature. I feel like I grew up traveling. They've been out the country more times than I have at this point in their little lives, including my 2-year-old. So, I want them to be well-rounded and really be able to hold their own in society. To me, that's the definition of success at this stage of my life.
Gotcha. Now, how do you define wealth?
Wealth. Well, I define wealth as the ability to handle the unexpected without the added burden.
Ah.
That's how I just and I mean that even in the simplest form. I had a tree fall in my front yard like 2 weeks ago. Mm-hmm. And to get this tree out of my yard that had already fell, I paid $1,600.
Oh my God.
Yes, ma'am. Now, it like half the tree had fallen. So the guy came out and he got that little half up. That was $300. Then the other half of the tree, apparently it was hollow or whatever, but it was right over my cars, where my cars would be. So then that was another $800. And then there were branches that had fallen on my roof. And so part of another tree had to get cut off altogether. Yeah. But I say that to say, I was able to take care of that. My husband and I were able to take care of that, and it didn't hurt us. And that's with me, me not working full time and starting up a new business. So to me, that's wealth. Can I just go out and jet set and everything?
No.
Probably not. But I can handle the unexpected without it becoming a burden.
Right. And that's what Steve Harvey said. He said that the difference that money makes, and not just money, but wealth. The difference is that, if you have your heating and air to go out, right? It's an emergency if you ain't got no money. But
Right.
If you got the money, then it is not an emergency. And that's very much in the same way in which you said that. So now, where can someone find your products?
Well, you can follow me on Facebook under Cineka Evans. If you put Cineka Evans in, it'll show up as a Facebook page as well as a retail page. Feel free to like the retail page and send me a friend request. If you're on Instagram, Dangerous Curve Scrubs comes up, or you can just visit www.dangerouscurvescrubs.com.
Sweet, sweet, sweet. So thank you for showing up this morning after you worked
Um,
all night long,
Listen,
running
we
home.
make it happen. We
That's
make
right.
it
That's right.
happen.
That's right. My name is Dr. Ryla Pierce. I'm the owner and the CEO of VP Nursing and the Nurse Nurturer and the facilitators of Secret Suppers Worldwide with Dr. V, where our goal is to equip healthcare professionals to be wealthy in all areas of their lives. Our goal is to come to you each Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 7:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time to give you the fuel to crush your goals, to show up exceptional on a daily basis. Know that one of the goals of Morning Infusion with Dr. V is to expose you to leaders such as Cineka. Am I saying that
You
right? All
did. Perfect.
right. That have overcome so that you know that the possibilities are endless. You can follow us on Twitter at The Nurse Nurturer, Instagram at VP Nursing. And if you are watching on YouTube, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and please share this video. We have a group called The Nurse Nurturer on Facebook that you can join to receive uplifting content for healthcare professionals. You can also visit our website at vpnursing.com.